And a good Thursday midday, Roger Hill, VELCO Weather Hazards forecaster with this VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook. Looking at the country at large and of course into Canada, we have this big, strong upper level low. This surface low pressure system is pushing away and will be moving out of the way. It is kind of forcing this high cloud with this frontal system with a lot of blow off from thunderstorms further off to the south. In fact, quite a bit of thunderstorm activity over parts of Texas. You can see that. And a lot of the high cirrus clouds, the blow off from the anvil from the tops of these thunderstorms are tracking very close behind the front. And indeed, this is what we're going to see today. A little bit of rain shower activity is still possible. You're seeing a little bit of drizzle to the north and west. This will probably jump the shark here and head into parts of southern Vermont and then exit out of the region. And that will be the end of our precipitation for some time to come. The reason, areas of higher pressure are going to build in, and eventually we're going to end up with kind of an omega block setup with a big blocking area of higher pressure. A surface low on either side is a very stable weather pattern, and it looks like we could see basically dry weather starting Friday. We'll have the high clouds that'll be streaming over us and a little secondary disturbance that swings through with gusty winds, and we'll get to that in a second. But overall, we're looking at very dry conditions going into next week, potentially maybe as much as 5 to 7 days. So stay tuned on that. That'll set up the potential for some high fire danger as temperatures will also warm and we do dry things out post-snow. Now, as this area of low pressure tracks off to the east, it's going to produce this gusty northwest wind that we're going to see blowing across the region. That's going to be the setup on Friday, and we'll have decent mixing conditions with drier air and, again, some partly cloudy, partly sunny conditions, so good mixing conditions will roll into the region for Friday. Let's look at the latest modeling. European on the left, we have the GFS ensemble on the right. We have a little bit of rain shower activity. This is valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and that goes by the wayside. Things dry out, and then precipitation is out of here for some time to come. That's going to stay to the north, but that pressure gradient, you can see these black lines here, that's going to roll in here, and that's what's going to bring us our gusty winds on Friday. That's valid about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then that basically winds on down. High pressure builds into the region, and check this out. We are looking at several days of higher pressure. We're into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, even beyond that point, Thursday, and even into Friday. Only little bit of a kind of a collapsing high pressure system that kind of moves more off and out to sea across the western Atlantic, and this system might sneak in, but overall we're looking at very dry weather over the course of about the next 5 to 7 days out once we get rid of the showers this afternoon. Looking at the GFS ensemble centered on the grid point of Montpelier, what we can see here is just very minutiae amounts of precipitation. We're talking about a little bit of an uptick here, but I would ignore that. It's probably not going to be until somewhere around here that we start to see the next chances for precipitation. This might even be dry through that period. So looking at the overall QPF, it looks like this. Not a whole lot going on for the whole period. Looking at our temperatures and our warmest weather is going to be in this area here, of course, today, where our temperatures are going to max out closer to 60 to 65. We dip down in temperature and then see a nice rise. Now, looking at the CAPE factor, that's a convective available potential energy. It looks like this. Nothing to worry about here. Precipitable water is going to be very, very low as well, with that big dip, much drier conditions, and then a kind of a gradual buildup. And in terms of precipitation type, it looks like this, and that's all basically rain. 850 hectopascal temperature is about the level of Mount Mansfield. This is the 0 degree centigrade line. Anything colder than that is snow. It's not going to precipitate. Anything warmer than that is going to be rain, and that's when we're going to see a little bit of rain shower activity and more rain shower activity potentially way, way down the road. The next 7 days of total QPF, or quantitative precipitation forecast, just 1/100th of an inch. How about that? All the precipitation is going to be held across the southeast United States with the Gulf of Mexico inflow and numerous frontal systems continuing to track areas of low pressure along those frontal systems to the south and east. The only other area we're seeing precipitation, really Northern California into British Columbia. We have this warmer air that's here today. This is going to be the last of it, and that's going to get replaced by that colder air as early as tomorrow with a much colder day. Over the next 5 days of high temperatures, the weighted totals will be running about neutral or zero. Not cold, not especially warm yet. However, 3 days, this is the next 5 days of meteorological output statistics. The next, just beyond that, you add 3 days and check that out. Look at that. Temperatures running about 12 degrees above normal for this time of year, 3 to 7 days from the Weather Prediction Center. And once again, a broader look at the current temperatures and checking heat indices. You can see where it's really, really warm. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.